with, an honor to be affiliated with. So there are many points in our lives where, especially according to Torah, where we come in and out of stages, men and women, men with semen, women with monthly Niddah, where we come in and out of Tahara and Tamai. Tahara, state of being clean. Tamai, or Tuma, state of being unclean. According to Torah, there are times you are tahor, pure, and you are unclean, tamai. When a man has a seminal discharge, until the beds are changed and the sheets are changed, you are tamai, you are unclean. Just like a woman who is in Niddah is unclean.
And that does happen to fellas.
But do not confuse uncleanliness, according to Torah, with sin. It is not a sin to be unclean. No one goes to hell for being unclean. Although you get around some legalists, you think so. They want to send people to hell for not making tzitzit the right way. Be careful who you hang out with.
Amen. Thank you.
Be very careful who you assure. Don't you? Well, ellos somos mesiánicos. Man, I love everybody. You know, I'm not the type to argue. Be careful. Be careful who you hang out with. I seen some of your pictures on the internet.
Uh-oh.
Hanging out at Sukkot and Passover with all kind of groups. And I know half of them deny the deity. The other half deny biblical marriage. Then there's another group that denies the gifts of the Ruach, prophecy, tongues, healing. But you're hanging out with them because you has called you to love everybody. No, he has not. Your head, your imagination. If you don't stand for something, what's going to happen? You're going to fall for anything.
Everything.
Everything, yeah.
Correct your behavior now. Grow where you're planted. Don't just go to any group that invites you.
Exactly.
Well, you know, we're all camping out. It's wonderful. Does that mean you should go?
No, certainly. No.
Teach us, O Yahuwah. Keep us. Thank goodness for being here.
All right. So being unclean is not being a sinner or sinful. We need to understand that. At many points in our lives, everyone in this room, myself of course included, becomes unclean. Can I get a witness?
Amen.
It is not a sin to have a seminal discharge. And that doesn't mean having a seminal discharge doesn't mean you're an Indian. And it doesn't mean you gamble at the casino. It has nothing to do with seminal. Can I get a witness? It is not a sin to have a monthly menstrual cycle, not any more than it is a sin to give birth. If being unclean was sinful, then every time a woman became a mother, she'd be a sinner. That means every time you engage in childbirth, you're a sinner. Men for ejaculation, and women for conceiving. So don't ever confuse conception with, sin with uncleanness. Tamai. Just because the Torah speaks about unclean does not mean sin. You need to grow in Torah and mature in Torah. The unclean person can come back at night. The sinner is outside the camp either for a long time or forever.
Nope.
Go ahead, honey.
In Vayikra 15, verse 30, it says, and the Kohen shall offer, it says she's supposed to bring 2 young pigeons or turtle doves to the Kohen.
Yes, we
and
covered
the Kohen
that.
shall offer one for a sin offering. So why is there a sin offering if there's no sin?
Oh, okay. But that is for the male child or the female child.
Yeah, it's when
At
you
childbirth.
give birth.
That is for the sin of the child.
Yeah.
The childbirth experience is not sinful. That is
Right.
That's no, it's talking about the female discharge.
Yeah.
what verse?
30.
Read it for me.
30.
Read it for me.
It's when her discharge goes on longer.
When her discharge goes on longer.
Yeah, but if she is cleansed from her discharge, then she shall count to herself 7 days, and after that she shall be clean, and on the 8th day she shall take with her 2 turtle doves or 2 young pigeons, and bring them to the Kohen to the door of the tabernacle of the congregation. And the Kohen
Okay,
shall offer
that's abnormal blood flow. That's not the monthly cycle.
But why is it a sin offering?
Because of the blood.
Probably excessive blood, not normal bleeding.
Maybe she did something that caused her to bleed.
Could be she did something that caused her to bleed. I don't know. But is that a sin offering as part of her monthly Niddah, or is it excessive?
I
Pastor.
thought it was for both.
No.
Doesn't say
It looks
that.
like
It's not, it's
Read it
like-
It would be excessive.
We don't-
That's for excessive bleeding.
Like if you have, when you have children,
Right.
or you have a miscarriage.
Or you might have
or
caused something, like she
Yes.
said, might have caused something to have excessive blood where you weren't supposed to do, or something to
for
that
normal
effect, but not
cycle.
for normal cycle.
No.
Okay?
The end of the verse says, then the Kohen will make Keppurah for her before Yahweh for the discharge of her uncleanness.
Right. Now again, everything
Yes,
excessive.
That assumes the excessive blood.
You
Exactly.
needed to go back to 25.
Okay, go back to 25. What does 25 say?
25 says, and if a woman has a discharge.
If a woman has a
of
discharge.
Many days, but not in the time of.
Many
discharge.
days, not in the time of her
There it is.
period.
Yes.
There you go.
It's
See that?
excessive.
Okay, thank you.
Anything.
Okay.
Let's move on, you got too much to cover. So, it is not a sin to have a monthly menstrual cycle any more than giving birth or having contact with something dead. Yet, having contact with the dead does make one unclean. Rather than concentrating only on the supposed negative state of uncleanness a woman has each month, we suggest focusing instead on the fact that as a result of her separation, a woman's clean state is reaffirmed every month till she goes to menopause, or through menopause. Now, I've heard it said that the best definition for menopause is when men pause and think. What now? Why this change? Men are pausing and thinking, whoa, why all these changes? Are you with me there, Rainey? So I'm giving you a little advanced course. I'm preempting your thought process. And like maybe 20, 30 years down the pike, okay? So it's like when your wife goes into menopause, the first thing men do is pause and go, what now? So we call that men in pause.
And start praying.
Now, how, one may ask, do the laws of Niddah affect the concept of plural marriage? Actually, that's one of the benefits of plural marriage. This is not a plural marriage message, so relax. We're just going to get through this part quickly. So, it's one of the benefits of plural marriage. If one wife has her monthly separation from her husband, especially in Judaism, where they do the 14-day routine, don't they? And they're under religion, aren't they?
Yes.
Yes.
Men, if you are under rabbinical Judaism, may I ask you to prayerfully consider a esposa número dos. Because for 2 weeks every month, she is off limits. For two, Nathan only wants 3. All right, chill out. Take a chill pill, bro.
Take care of one.
All right. So you see what I'm saying?
Yes.
So, all right. So how does this all play in? Now, if one wife, let's assume a man is monogamous, kosher marriage, biblical marriage. If a man has one wife and her monthly separation in Judaism is 14 days, or 7 days according to Scripture, and then of course if wife number 2 were to enter the monogamous picture, while wife number 1 is unclean, the husband can be happy because wife number 2 is around, and if hubby is happy, hopefully all is hopefully well at home. Also, listen to this. Older women, listen to this. An older woman who may or may not be in menopause, but even if let's assume she's older and she's in menopause, right? Are you still with me?
Oh,
You're not angry at me, right? I'm trying to help you. No need to get angry at me here.
Straight.
Just consider this free counseling. All right?
So,
So, let's say there's an older woman who is either in menopause or it doesn't see the benefits of plural marriage. Well, guess what? If the younger woman is actively menstruating, right? And she is in her cycle, that means 1 week every month, the husband has no companion. So that could be the week where the woman who is in menopause is no longer having her monthly period, gets the husband for a full week. You know how they talk about rotating nights and all this stuff, how they have to rotate? Not in Niddah. In Niddah, the older woman